What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTP Sports, and this was a, frustrating game. This definitely was. The Philadelphia Phillies, they fall to the Seattle Mariners in the first game of this three-game set by a score of 5-3. There were chances to score plenty of times in this game. The Phillies could not get that timely hit. And Falter, after, cruising through the first 4 innings of this ball game, he looked really good. He looked really solid. Getting a lot of strikeouts, getting a lot of quick pitches, quick innings. And then all of a sudden, in that 5th inning, he allows the home run. And then another single happens. And then, a JT throwing error. Ball goes out in the center field. Allows the runner to go to third base. Sack fly happens. All of a sudden, it's a 2-0 ball game in that instance. Falter, basically his first, long inning of the day. I think he threw around 30 pitches in that 5th inning. Rob decides to bring him back out for the 6th. And then basically hell breaks loose. He allows another 2-run home run after the Phillies made it a 2-1 ball game. So there are question marks throughout this game, in my opinion. That specific decision from Rob Thompson to bring Falter back out for the 6th. Not saying this entire game's on Rob Thompson, because at the end of the day, you did score only 3 runs. And that's been a common theme so far in all of Falter's starts. He's basically developed Jacob deGrom syndrome, where the offense just doesn't score for him at all. I believe so far in a lot of the games he has pitched, the last game against Chicago, they were getting no hit into the 8th. They didn't score a single run that game. His first outing in Texas, I believe they only scored 1 run. The game that he had against Cincinnati at home, I believe they only scored 3 runs in that game, and he wasn't even on the mound at that point because they had to walk it off in the 9th inning. In that other game in Cincinnati, he just wasn't good enough. So the run support really doesn't matter in that instance. But yeah, so far in a lot of Falter starts, they haven't scored for him at all. So yeah, that's a common theme too. So he really hasn't been able to pitch with a lead at all in any of his starts, honestly. So yeah, that's an issue as well. But then at the end of the day, 2 innings in a row, you're allowing home runs. Kelenic absolutely crushed it. I would say that second run's more on the fault of JT Realmuto, just with a terrible throw to try to throw the runner out at second. Granted, also, I think Trea Turner needs to do a better job of trying to keep the ball over there at second base instead of it letting go into the outfield. And I do have some words about Trea Turner. I'm not going to go overly ballistic. It's not what I'm going to do. I'm already seeing people on Twitter, Phillies fans, idiots, that are saying Trea Turner sucks already because going through a little bit of a slump here. Granted, yes, he has hit a couple of home runs over the past week and a half. You're starting to see that average go down. I really wasn't talking about it much just because, he was batting over 300. He was still, consistently hitting. But now over this recent stretch, he has, slumped a little bit. You're seeing a lot of over days, a lot of strikeouts, not as many multi-hit games. Still struggling to get the consistent hard contact. Now that average is below 300. I believe it's around 280 now. 282 the last time I saw. Struck out 3 times in this ball game. Took a lot of ugly swings. Now, this is not me saying that Trea Turner, so I am not saying that at all. Don't take that any wrong words from my mouth. Over the long run of this entire season, Trea Turner is going to be fine. He's way too good of a hitter. He's way too good of a player. He's one of the top players in Major League Baseball for a reason for him to struggle as much. Maybe he's another guy that just struggles in the month of April. It's not excusable, but I would love to see him do better because that's how, high of the standard I'd hold him to. How high of accountable that I hold him to. Because, big free agent this offseason. You filled that shortstop position given a long-term contract. Like I said, he's going to be fine over the course of the year. He's way too good of a hitter not to be. But, I would like to see a little more consistency. And the same thing with this offense. I would like to see a little more consistency too. You had a nice series win over, Colorado this week. But, this upcoming stretch is going to be a nice test for this team. You start with Seattle today. Granted, you lost. But you have Seattle for this 3-game stretch. Then you go on the road against Houston this weekend. And then you eventually play the Los Angeles Dodgers. All the teams that you're playing basically for the next week and a half are going to be teams that were in the playoffs last season. Seattle, Houston, and LA. So It's going to be a tough task. It's going to be a tough, test. But this team needs to find a way to be more consistent. They have, before coming into this game, they have won 6 of their last 8. Now it's 6 of their last 9. I just want to see a little more offensive consistency. That's what I want to see. Your bullpen has been a lot more consistent as of late. Granted, they did give up a run today, Connor Brogdon, but the rest of the bullpen did fine. I just need to see more offensive consistency night in and night out. Because, only putting up 3 runs, it's not going to win you ball games most nights. And when you're not putting your starting pitcher in a chance to pitch with a lead, it's also problemsome too. I just need to see more. I need to see more consistency. Now, this is not going to be a game where I'm going to go crazy over this team. I'm not. I'm very frustrated with this game because I do feel like there were a lot of chances in this game to score some runs and do some damage. When you're in there, bases loaded, Alec Boehm, Ty France over there at first base basically saved the game for Seattle. Alec Boehm comes up, bases loaded, 1 out. It was 4-1 in this situation, I believe. Alec Boehm with a hard hit over to the right side. Ty France completely robs him. A run does score, but at the end of the day, if Ty France doesn't make that play, the ball goes into the outfield. You're talking about 2 runs scoring there and it becoming a 4-3 ball game. But he makes that play. It's a 4-2 ball game instead, and it's now 2 outs with Edmundo Sosa with a man in first and third, instead of it being 4-3 with Sosa up with a runner at first and third with 1 out, if you understand what I'm saying. So that changed the ball game. But there were other positions in this game as well to score some runs. Trey Turner, he had a chance in the 3rd inning. 2 runners on, 2 outs. Nothing happens there. Christian Pache got on with a single. Bryson Stott worked the walk. And Trey Turner, he worked the count to 2-0, but eventually, a couple of bad swings and he strikes out in the end. So that needs to be better overall. And overall, with runners in scoring position in this ball game, you went 2 for 7. You left 7 runners on base. Cave had the pinch hit RBI single in the bottom of the 9th inning, and JT Realmuto did get a hit, but it didn't score a run because it was just a ball that basically the runner at second base was making sure it wasn't going to get caught. So Schwarber stayed over at third base instead of trying to go home, which was understandable because Teoscar Hernandez in right field has a really good arm. So it was smart for JT not to test that. For Schwarber not to test that. But 2 for 7 runners in scoring position and only 7 guys left on base, it's not good enough. It's not good enough at all. So that needs to be worked out more. Looking at the lineup in today's game, Bryson Stott, he went 1 for 3. Trey Turner, he goes 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts. Like I said, that average is dipping. It's down to 282 now. Like I said, over the course of the year, he's going to be fine. He's going to be the Trey Turner we know. I want to see it now. Like I said, that World Baseball Classic really spoiled us with the way he was hitting. So I want that Trey Turner now. Kyle Schwarber, he goes over 3 with a run scored in a hit by pitch. Nick Castellanos has been your most consistent hitter as of late. He went 2 for 4 in this game. That average is way over 300 at 315. JT Realmuto went 1 for 4. Alec Boehm goes 1 for 4 with an RBI. Edmundo Sosa with a solo shot in this game. He goes 1 for 4. Brandon Marsh goes 1 for 4. He actually almost got picked off at first base by the catcher, but he did a weird, crazy, nifty evade tactic, moving his hand all up and down to try to avoid the tag over at first base. He did, but it was just weird in that instance. Then you got Christian Pache, 2 for 3. In what world is he hitting consistently? I think before the game, coming into this one, he was 7 for his last, I believe, 15. With a couple of extra base hits in there, with the home run as well. So what the hell? Did Kevin Long already fix Christian Pache? He also made a nice catch out there in center field too. So, along with his good defense, he's been, hitting the ball better as of late. And I will admit that. He did line into that double play, which, doubled up Brandon Marsh as well. But can't blame Pache in the course of this game. He went 2 for 3. He was one of the only guys in your lineup that had 2 hits besides Castellanos. So I really, in the grand scheme of this game, I can't blame Christian Pache. I just can't. So overall, this game just, was frustrating. I think that's the end of the day. This game was just very, 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 very frustrating. Because you had chances to score, You didn't. Looking at some of the, innings from this ball game in total, first inning, second inning, a lot of things go very, very quickly. The first 4 or 5 innings of this ball game barely took an hour. I thought this game was going to be over by 8 o'clock at the rate this game was going. But of course, the last 4 innings, when the first 5 go like an hour, the next 5 are going to go 2 hours. That's how the game works, even with the pitch clock. Get to that 5th inning, the Jared Kelenic home run, then eventually the infield single that allowed a run to score. Then you get Sosa's home run to make it a 2-1 ball game. But then you go to that top of the 6th inning, and that's where you question Rob Thompson for bringing back, Falter into the game. He gets the first guy to strike out, but then he allows a double. And then the home run off of a hanging slider or a curveball. Becomes a 4-1 ball game. Bottom of the 6th. And this was your biggest chance to, come back into this game. Schwarber got hit by the pitch. Castellanos with a single. JT with a single. And then Alec Boehm gets robbed over there by Ty France. Like I said, that was the game-saving play for Seattle. Because it could have been 2 runs scored. Instead, it becomes 1 run scored and 2 outs. So that changed everything. And then you go top 7. Connor Brogdon comes into the ball game, leadoff triple, and then a sac fly. So that can't happen, especially when you just made it 4-2. So Ty France made a play, and then the offense came back out and got another run to make, keep it a 3-run ball game. So that can't happen. Bottom of the 7th inning, Marsh led off with that single, but then Pache lined into the double play. Stott reached on a single, then Trey Turner struck out again. Junior Marte actually had a clean inning. That was shocking. That was very shocking. Strikeout, ground out, fly out. I was very shocked. Bottom of the 8th, this was another chance, honestly, in my opinion, for your offense to probably come back out and do some damage to try to get it into this ball game. Your heart of the lineup, Schwarber, Castellanos, and JT. Nothing happens. 1, 2, 3. Very quick inning. Schwarber grounds out, Castellanos lines out, and JT grounds out. So that can't happen in the grand scheme. Top of the 9th inning, Vasquez comes out. After a leadoff single, he basically got the job done. So over in the grand scheme of this game, bullpen wasn't the issue. Besides Connor Brogdon. But then go bottom 9. Boehm leads off with a double. And then Edmundo Sosa, he swinging bunt. It moves Boehm over to third base. But I really wouldn't call that a productive out, especially in the 9th inning. You got to do way more in that situation. Marsh then strikes out. And then Jake Cave comes in, pinch hitting for Pache. He gets an RBI single, makes it a 5-3 ball game. And then the Stott at bat happens. The fans throw the hot dogs on the field. Basically just completely changed the entire pace of the at bats. Maybe that could have threw Stott off. But at the end of the day, he does strike out. So, offense, wasn't good enough in this game. Simply was not good enough. Could have been way better. Try to get Bailey Falter a lead. They don't. Chances to hit with runners in scoring position, they don't. Now, overall, I'm not going to scream because you do have another game tomorrow night. Taijuan Walker on the mound. The chance for you to bounce back. You got 2 more games left in this series, tomorrow night and then Thursday afternoon. Taijuan Walker tomorrow, Matt Strom on Thursday. So, the team has been playing better as of late. So, find a way, this offense, to be more consistent. That's what I'm asking for. I want this offense to be more consistent. Now, I'm not asking you to hit 4 home runs every game like you did on Sunday. That's just not going to happen. That's simply not going to happen. The power has shown a lot more lately with the home runs, though. Hit a lot more home runs against Colorado. 4 on Sunday, 3 on Saturday. A couple in that series overall. You hit 1 tonight with Sosa. So that is starting to show more. Stott, Marsh, Boehm, they can't do everything every night. I need more from Turner. I need more from Schwarber. Castellanos, I know you had the 2 home runs on Saturday. You had the 2 hits today. I would still like to see some more power, even though you're the least of my concerns right now. JT, I need more. Who else? Yeah, it's basically those guys. It's basically your top guys in the lineup. Your veterans. Because Stott, Marsh, and Boehm have been doing enough. Boehm hasn't hit a home run in a while, so I would like to see more power from Boehm still. I just want to see more from those guys. And then eventually you're probably going to get Harper back very soon. Because I believe he does have a doctor's appointment if he's going to get, cleared the slide and everything, cleared the play. I believe he has the doctor's appointment next week. I believe the 1st of May. That's next Monday. So, Harper gets cleared. He's going to come back by next weekend. You saw the article from Matt Gelb. They're saying he wouldn't be shocked if he's back May 5th against the Boston Red Sox at home. He would not be shocked. So, you're most likely getting Harper back very, 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 very soon. And it's, surprising too, just because we're thinking about, the beginning of the year, Dave Dombrowski talking about everything with Harper. Maybe he's going to be back probably right before or right after the All-Star break. And then you're starting to see the timetable. It goes down or it comes back up. And then it comes back up. We're talking about, middle June, maybe early June. Or actually early July, then late June. And then it comes back up again, maybe early June, late May. Then it's coming back up again. We're talking about the beginning of May here, next week, that Harper's most likely going to return. We're talking about historic comebacks from Tommy John. I know it's way different for position players than it is for pitchers, but it's still crazy. Like, you're seeing all the stuff in batting practice and everything like that. He's hitting stuff off Ranger Suarez, and he's going through that virtual reality simulation stuff so he doesn't have to go through a minor league stint. I know some, people will say, oh, you're rushing him back and everything. If the dude's ready to play. When he comes back, he's going to DH for a little bit, and then eventually he'll be, grandfathered in to playing first base. He's not going to play first base every day. He's probably going to, maybe a day or two at first base, then he's going to mainly be the DH. He's going to be the DH for a little bit until, eventually he gets more comfortable at first. But man, just thinking about Bryce Harper coming back as early as next week, you're adding a lot of stuff to this lineup too. Even with some of the guys struggling. And I'm just looking at this lineup right now, like, where do you place Harper at? Because I don't think you move Stott from the leadoff spot, and I don't think you move Turner from 2. Granted, even though he's struggling, you still keep Turner at the top of the lineup. He's one of your best hitters. Do you put, Harper at 3? Do you move Schwarber down further into the lineup? I wouldn't like that just because, when the weather does get warmer, the power from Schwarber is just going to be more consistent. I'm just trying to think of this lineup because maybe, and that's just, I guess the benefit of a very deep lineup. Some of your really good players are just going to be, batting lower in the lineup. I'm just trying to think because when you have Brandon Marsh down there at 8, it's a good player to possibly turn the lineup over. I'm just trying to think of, the overall grand scheme of what this lineup can construct of. Because you're thinking, you keep Stott at 1, you keep Turner at 2. Do you put Bryce at 3? Do you keep Castellanos at 4? Do you put Schwarber at 5? Because are you still going to go with the lefty-righty, lefty-righty, lefty-righty? And then you put JT at 6? Maybe Marsh at 7? Bohm at 8. I don't want to bat Bohm that low in the lineup either. But it's nice to have, guys like Marsh and Bohm lower in the lineup just because, everything there. And then whoever your 9-hole hitter is, your 9-hole hitter is. Whether that's, man, that's tough. That is very tough. Am I leaving anyone out either? Stott, Turner, Bryce, Castellanos, Schwarber, JT. No, I don't think I'm leaving anyone out. But then, when Harper is DHing, I would assume Bohm's going to play first, and then Sosa's going to be playing third base. You could probably have Sosa at 9 in your lineup. Like, you're talking about a very deep lineup there. Once everyone starts to really get going. Like, once this team does find their stride, and they will, I do believe they will, because they have been playing better as of late. They have been. Granted, it was against lesser competition. I would like to see them, now that they're playing playoff caliber teams, Seattle, Houston, Los Angeles upcoming, I would like to see more consistency there. Because then you're eventually going to be seeing more NL East teams like, the Mets, the Braves, and all that stuff. I just want to see more consistency against the good teams because this is really your first chance at playing really good teams. Granted, Seattle is below 500, but they're not going to be below 500 for long. I just want to see more consistency. That's what I want to see. Once the starting rotation gets fully fleshed out, Ranger, most likely, I would assume he comes back middle to midway through May. And I believe they said Andrew Painter is starting to, do some throwing again. Like nothing like too major, but he's like, doing some tossing and all that stuff. So, could you get if Andrew Painter gets worked up and he finds a way to get his arm good and he's pitching good down there, do you see Andrew Painter possibly up by the All-Star break? June, maybe? Well, we're almost at June, possibly, for Andrew, maybe end of June. Painter, even though I'm rushing that a little bit, but still a long way to go with Painter. But I'm just thinking of everything because you got Harper coming back most likely next week. Even though nothing is confirmed yet, you got to wait for the doctor's appointment to happen. But it's just crazy to think about. It really is. It's really crazy to think about that Bryce could possibly return by next week. After all the stuff that we've been, going over with him, returning later on in the season. He's going to come back early as possible. This is the best case scenario. And imagine if he decided to get the Tommy John a little bit earlier, would he have been back, by now? It's crazy to think about. It really is. It really is. So like I said, I'm not going to go crazy over this game. I don't think it's really worth it. It definitely isn't. So, you just got to wait and see at this point. Got to wait and see what happens tomorrow. We got Taijuan Walker, like I said. He's going to be on the mound tomorrow. He's had a couple of good starts in a row here, so I want to see him continue to build off that. He's going to be going up against Logan Gilbert. He is 1-1 with a 3.57 ERA. His last start against Milwaukee allowed 4 earned runs, 2 home runs allowed in that game. Then 1 earned run, 3 earned runs, 1 earned run in his past couple of outings before that. So he's a guy, maybe, we could do something with. So you got to see. And then Thursday afternoon, you're going to have Matt Strahm against George Kirby. So Seattle does have good pitching. They definitely do. I believe their bullpen numbers coming into this game have been really good. So that showed you, the bullpen coming into this game. So let's see. So let's see. I'm seeing people. Oh, wow. So if you're, I'm just looking at other things on Twitter. I just saw something about the, holy shit. I'm sorry, I got a little bit, sidetracked there, but it looks like the Atlanta Hawks stunned the Boston Celtics in Game 5. Trae Young with a deep three with a second left in the game. Seals it. So it looks like right now the Sixers won't start their second round until Monday. So that's good to see. That's good to see. That is good to see. But yeah. Sorry, I got really sidetracked there. I'm watching this play by Trae Young, and I'm still stunned that it happened. So yeah, definitely. I'm definitely stunned at that. But there's really not much else to talk about with this game. It was just frustrating to see. I still do think, though, what happens if that idiot doesn't throw the hot dog on the field? And that's just... I wouldn't blame the Phillies if, they don't do dollar dog nights the rest of the year. Because I believe that's 2 games in a row now where idiots started throwing hot dogs. Seriously, you're going there. I believe they said on the broadcast someone threw 5 hot dogs on the field in that inning, the 9th. So that's $5 you threw on the field, regardless of the stupidity. It's stupid regardless. Bryson Stott's in the middle of the at-bat, 2 outs in the 9th. He's working the count. You throw hot dogs on the field, it just throws off everything that he had going in at a bat. Then he eventually strikes out. So that was stupid. It didn't cost you the game, but it's just like, what idiot is deciding, like, oh, it would be funny, I'm going to throw hot dogs in the field. Like, why? Why? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I just don't. It's stupid. It's idiotic. So yeah, it's where I stand there. So there's not much else on that instance. So I believe this is where we're going to call it tonight, everybody. I appreciate everyone for joining the streams as always. We'll be back tomorrow night to recap tomorrow's game. And there's going to be some interesting things this week because we got tomorrow night's game, and then Thursday's going to be busy. We got the Phillies in the afternoon. Then the first round of the NFL draft's going to happen that night, so you get to see what the Eagles are going to do there with the 10th and the 30th pick. If they trade up, trade down, make a major trade there, whatever Howie's going to do. We're going to have some stuff this week, so definitely stay tuned for that. But for now, thank you for joining tonight, everybody. Do not forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. I'd like to see those as always. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to check out everything in the description. Also, hit that subscribe button. It does me a great deal of service. Join the TTP Sports family. Also use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Use it for anything you can think of. Great deal. Do not pass it up. Thank you once again for joining tonight, everybody.